I'm here a few minutes early and thought I'd look around, see where we are, and all that sort of stuff. They've got a data walk on the wall here, and we're the first one, where it shows some of our stuff for bowl goals. And it's got the things here, and priorities for work. Then there's Bridging Richmond, which also has some nice stuff. Generation Next, using Cartesian coordinates like the ones I use for sail. And we've got East Side Pathways. I'm not quite sure where this one is. And they've got some priorities for their work. Mission Graduate. This is a nice little table here. I kind of like that. It's got indicators with the arrows, and I think that's nice. Charleston, South Carolina. Very involved data sheet here. Cradle to Careers Continuing Goals comparison, 15 selected metros, and they're comparing themselves against other metros around the country. That's really nice. That's very powerful. Anyway, so I like the way that they've laid these out. Tri-County Career Cradle to Career Collaborative in Charleston. Got total cases, got some case management data, and they've got here their priorities. Treasure Valley Partnership, Boise, Idaho. They're using the box and whisker graphics. Here they've got a scatter plot. They've included the confidence interval bands, if you notice right there. And there they're looking across, I guess, particular cities. Boise, Idaho. StriveTogether in Phoenix. This is their demographics. You can see what the green is: Hispanic, American Indian, Alaskan White, Black, Native Hispanic, and Asian Pacific Islander. So you kind of see what their demographics look like. And then this is grade 3 reading proficiency. And then we've got more priorities for work. Seeding success, and they've got really interesting graphic here with lots of reds and greens and so forth. You can see what that's about right there. They've got Shelby County schools by attendance. It looks like it might be Memphis, but I'm not sure. Seeding success and certain priorities. Education Coalition of Macon County. I don't know if that might be Georgia. And this is some of their scores, the ACT benchmark scores. Very similar to one of the things that we presented in Mobile. Coalition of Macon County. And some of their priorities. Higher Expectations, Racine, Wisconsin. Here's a scatter plot. It's got percent of low-income students and medium student scores, growth. And so it's kind of an interesting, that's a growth model there, which is very interesting, I should add. Higher Expectations, map reading assessment, percentile growth by school and grade. And they're using box whiskers there. They have a lot of priorities that they've listed on their sheets. Re-engagement in King County, Seattle, Washington. And here they have a map where they show existing re-engagement activities, now are expanded activities, and they have a map on where they're working. And then they've got a roadmap here which shows on-time graduation, and that kind of shows the sum of high school graduates from 31 to 100%. And so it kind of, I can't read all of it. Highline Public Schools shows different, each box represents a group of students and their progression. And then they have a short list of priorities. Washington, D.C., RAISE, priorities for work are here. Communicate the story to the community as a whole, and these are things that we had entered. Promise Partnership, Salt Lake City, Utah, and they've got their third grade reading. They've got some trends across time from 2011 to 2014. all by subgroup. Very nice, very nice. I like that one a lot. Promise Partnerships, Salt Lake City, Utah, third grade reading again, showing the trends by apparently elementary schools there are numbered, and maybe that's a way to shield the names, I'm not sure. Strive of Chicago, kind of an old hand at this. They've got freshmen on track, percentages there by year from 2011 to 2014. Chicago Public School proficiency in third grade reading and math, percentiles showing there. Chicago schools 5-year cohort graduation rates, concrete plan for the future, and it shows the percentages there. 88%, 11.3% who do not. Anyway, it's a nice bunch of uses of Tableu presented here. We'll do probably a data walk a little bit later on. And we'll talk about our different projects, and I hope that we can borrow some of these. I think that there are some really interesting presentations here. This is percent proficient by growth, and so that's kind of an interesting one there, because you really want to be up in that top quadrant, and all those places down there in the lower quadrants are needing some help. And they've got percent of students of color, and whether or not they're a district school or a non-district school, and I think that's interesting. Eastways, pathways, elementary tardiness, that's an interesting problem to deal with, and they've got those rates there. Heat map of tardies by month, apparently they've identified that as a problem. So when we start digging down, we start looking at things like attendance and things like that. We could develop things like this, but it's looking really interesting.